All right, welcome to Makeup 101 Part 2. Now that you know what tools to use, we're going to start on the eyes. Lots of people ask me why we start on the eyes instead of the face, because this is a thing that makeup artists tend to do. I do the eyes because if you get fallout or you blend too far or anything like that, you can clean it up later. It's a lot harder if you're doing your eyes and you get fallout and you've already done your whole face and then you've got to fix that. So that's why we do eyes first. So I'm going to show you, because this is basic 101, two different looks that are very easy to transition into based on if you want more color, you want it to be more smoky. I'm going to show you kind of my signature smoky eye and how I do that. And then I'm going to show you how you can do it with any color based on the technique. I know lots of people are big fans of eyeshadow primers, especially if you have really oily eyelids. I tend to actually just use my concealer. This gets rid of all of the redness, the pigmentation. You don't see any more of this veining. And if you're setting it down really nicely, it works just as well. I have found that my concealer makes my eye makeup last for hours and hours and hours. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, the original formula. I really love this. You'll see I just take a little bit, and then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender or beauty sponge. This is my actual beauty blender since we talked about different ones, but they all work. And I'm just going to pounce that from the inner corner up to my eyebrow, all the way across and all the way to the lash line. Take those three brushes that we talked about. I'm going to be starting with my JH50. Remember, this is the same as all of these brushes. And I'm going to start in a very neutral eye color. So we're going to go into this little section here. And I'm going to start right here in this very kind of medium brown that's a little bit warm, just tapping a little tiny bit and then tapping off the excess. You saw how some of that powder came off. If you don't do that, you're going to get way too much product. Now, the way to blend into your crease, the easiest way is, and especially if you don't have hooded eyes, which if you have hooded eyes, you'll know you have this little hood, this little extra skin that goes right here. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to do that too. If you don't have that and like your crease doesn't overlap your outer corner, then you'll actually go in right inside of where that crease is. You can actually see. But if I put shadow right there, you won't see it. So if you have a hooded eye, you're going to go just slightly above the crease. I like to take that brush, stick it right inside of where my eye fold is, and then look forward, and I'm going to do what we call windshield wiper motions. Now look at first, it's going to be sloppy and messy. That's okay. I kind of just do little ones back and forth, just like this. We're just placing color right now. We're not blending or anything like that. We're just placing color. Now, if you want less color payoff than this, then you're not going to pick up as much, or you can tap it on the back of your hand, or you can go into a lighter shade and start there. So once I have the color payoff that I like, and it's where I want it to sit, is using a clean brush with nothing on it. That's when I will pick up this one. I'm going to show you all the different names of this one. There is nothing on this brush, and I'm just going to go on the edge of that and blend just like this. Same motion, windshield wipers back and forth, just above it. You can also do little circles right on the edge, holding the brush further down to blend. So you don't want to be way up here, like that you will not get a blend. The further away you hold this brush, the more of a blend you're going to get. So for daytime, you could put just a neutral lid or neutral color over the lid, something like this, or a little bit of shimmer, whatever you want. Pick it up with your finger, tap it right there, and you're done. That's kind of a daytime eyeshadow look. For my signature smoky eye look, we're going to go just a tiny bit deeper. So I'm going to be using that next brush. This one is the JH35, I believe. I'll put all the other ones on here that we talked about. And I'm just going to go into this darker color right here, just on the tip. I'm just tapping in a tiny, tiny bit like this. Then I'm going to tap it off. Now, the eye anatomy here, this is what we call as makeup artists the outer V, or the outer corner of the eye. It's where your lid corner meets up to your crease and inwards, you see how it makes like a sideways V like this? That's why we call it the outer V. So for my signature smoky eye, we're gonna do kind of the same technique we did with the crease. I'm gonna start just right here where my crease color went, and just a tiny, tiny little buff right there. Then I'm going to connect this down towards my lash line. See how I'm creating this sort of sideways V. I'm placing the color. I'm not really worried about blending it yet. I'm kind of blending it inwards a little bit, but I'm not really worried about blending it. I really am just placing color. The more pigmented you want it to be, the more color you'll pick up. So you start with a little bit and build up. So once that's placed, we're gonna go back to that clean blending brush, and same thing, just on the corners and just kind of here, buffing it in just a tiny, tiny bit. Just on the corner here, pull it in. So once I have all my color placed and blended, then I'm going to pick a color that I want to put on my lid. You can go with a matte, you can go with a shimmer. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of shimmer. I really love this gold right here. Anything like this that tends to be on the shiny side, I like to place on with my finger. You're gonna get the most color payoff with a finger as opposed to a brush. So I'm just going to tap right there, just in the open lid space. The more you tap it, the more blended it gets. So if you're just kind of going in here, you see I'll just kind of tap it in, and that will be that. Now I'm going to show you this exact same technique using different colors so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about, that you can use any color and get the same eye look. Okay, so now you've seen a couple of different looks. So once we finish the top of the eye, we're gonna just go underneath here just a tiny bit. If you want, you don't have to go on the bottom. I like to take a little bit of the darkest color that I used, just like this, and then I'm gonna tap into that medium color right on top of it, knock off the excess, and then we're just going to connect right here to that upper lash line, just a tiny, tiny bit. And really, that's all you need on the lower lash line. We're going to put concealer and stuff right there. So remember, you don't want to go too overboard, but you just want to use that tiny little bit on your brush and just blend. That we have done eyeshadow, we're going to talk about eyeliner. Now, there are 3 basic different kinds of eyeliner that most people use, and that is a cream or a gel, a pencil, and a liquid. I know that liquid is the scariest for most people. I don't tend to use cream and gel on a daily basis. This is usually what I like to use like at the boudoir studio or for photos. So I'm not going to cover this one because I think it's a little too difficult for most people. Starting with our pencil. I'm going to tell you about anatomy of the eye for eyeliner. So basically, eyeliner can go one of 3 places. On the actual lid at the lash line, it can go on your waterline, which is right inside here, or just the lower lash line here, or you can tight line, which is this lash line underneath on the inside. One of my eyes, I'm going to be doing a pencil, and one of my eyes, I'm going to be doing a liquid, so I can walk you through that. Now, with a pencil, I generally tend to do the eyeliner on the lash line, and then if I'm going to do a wing, I will use eyeshadow. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you actually how to do a wing with this bad boy for hooded eyes. Just going to close your eye and grab the outside corner and just slightly pull. Especially if you're like over 20, this is just going to smooth that line out for you just a hair. So, like I said, just tugging a tiny bit, just pulling. You're going to put the liner right on your lash line, and you're going to see me just make little back and forth motions. You don't want this to be too thick. You're just kind of emphasizing your eyelashes. Just like that. Now you don't have to take it all the way in, or you can just do the outside corner. This is where personal preference really comes up with how you like your eyeliner. Create the wing with this guy, and to smooth that out just a little bit, we're gonna use that angled brush. I'm just gonna tap in a little bit on it, tap off the excess, go right on top of it here at the outside, and just start bringing it out like this on your corner. See, I just give it a little tiny flick, and that's about it. Now, the real scary one for most people, liquid eyeliner. You want to use a liquid eyeliner that has a felt tip like this, not one with a bunch of little brushes. So the key to liquid eyeliner is by using the pen like this, not like this. I think a lot of people tend to go in like this, and that's where they mess up. You're going to use the body of the pen, setting it on your lashes and using the butt here to create your line. You can do the same technique where you kind of tug it a little bit if you need to, but I just like to make sure that we have a really smooth line all the way across. If you don't have hooded eyes, all you're gonna do is just connect this line and just keep going out, and that's gonna create your wing. But if you have hooded eyes, this is how you're gonna make your wings. So you're going to start here. I've been kind of rubbing that. My eye got kind of irritated earlier. I'm just going to create my wing just like this, kind of where I want it to go and the direction I want to go. And then I'm going to pull that little tiny wing in towards my eye while my eye is open. So I'm looking straight on into a mirror. And I'm just connecting it like that. Now, watch what happens. See, it's disconnected? That's okay. I'm going to just fill in that little bit right there. But I'm not going to connect here because all of that would end up on my lid here, and then it wouldn't connect to the outside. So it's actually going to be a little disconnected, but you're not looking at people like this ever. You're looking at them like this, so it's okay. If you want to make it a little bit more dramatic, you can give yourself a little bit more of a flick here. Just like that. Now, if that seems too difficult, lots of brands make eyeliner stamps just like this that are already wings. And all you would do is look into your mirror, stamp the wing, and then the other side is usually a liquid liner. And then you would just connect it the way that I just showed you and draw your regular line. I will see you next time on Eyebrows and Eyelashes.